Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mandarin Pod for Children. I'm Grace, your host and Mandarin learning coach. To protect speakers' privacy and enhance audio quality, some or all voices in this episode are created with AI assistance. The content is inspired by real-life classroom experiences of the eChineseLearning teaching team. Today's episode is for parents who lie awake at night wondering, am I pushing too hard with Mandarin? Or on the flip side, am I not pushing enough, and letting my child fall behind? This tension is so real. We want our children to succeed, but we don't want them to resent the language. Where's the balance? Joining me today is Brian, a dad from Chicago whose 8-year-old daughter, Lily, has been learning Mandarin for about a year. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Grace. I'm glad to be here. Honestly, this topic hits me right in the gut. Every week I feel like I'm either nagging too much or letting things slide too easily.
That's such a common struggle. Tell us a little bit about Lily's Mandarin journey so far.
Sure. We started last year with online classes. At first, she loved it. The songs, the games, the novelty, it was fun. But after a few months, it got harder. She didn't want to review after class. When I reminded her, she'd sigh and say, "Do I have to?" So I tried to motivate her. Sometimes I'd say, "You need to practice for 15 minutes before TV." Other times I'd back off and just let it go. Neither approach felt right. When I pushed, she resisted. When I let it slide, she didn't touch Mandarin at all.
Brian, you just described the exact tightrope so many parents walk. Push too hard, and you risk building resentment. Push too little, and you risk losing momentum. That's why today's conversation is so important. Let's start with the bigger picture. In child psychology, there's a concept called the motivation sweet spot. On one side is pressure, too much, and kids shut down. On the other side is freedom, too much, and kids disengage. The sweet spot is where a child feels guided, but not controlled. Brian, when you think about Lily, what do you notice about how she responds to pressure?
She's very sensitive to it. If she feels I'm pushing, she folds her arms and refuses. But if I don't say anything, she'll happily ignore Mandarin altogether. It's like she needs me, but doesn't want me.
Exactly. That paradox is very real. Kids need scaffolding, structure and support, but they also need autonomy. The challenge is how to blend the two.
Right. And I'll admit, sometimes I panic. I think, if I don't push her now, she'll never get it. And then what's the point of all this effort?
Thank you for saying that out loud. Parents often carry silent panic. But let's pause here. Language learning is not linear. There are bursts of growth, and there are slow seasons. Pushing harder during slow seasons often backfires, because children associate the stress with the language. So the real question isn't, how much should I push? The real question is, how can I create an environment where Lily chooses to engage?
That sounds amazing, but how do I actually do that?
Let's break it down into strategies. First strategy, shift from control to choice. Instead of saying, practice for 15 minutes, give Lily two options. Do you want to watch a Mandarin cartoon for 10 minutes, or play a word game for 10 minutes? She still engages with Mandarin, but feels she has agency. Second strategy, focus on micro-goals, not marathons. Kids burn out when the task feels too big. Instead of, review your whole lesson, try, teach me one funny word you learned today. One word builds more consistency than 20 minutes of forced study. Third strategy, build in natural rewards. And I don't mean bribes like candy. I mean linking Mandarin to fun experiences. For example, let's order a Chinese snack online, and you can help me say its name. That way, Mandarin becomes a ticket to something enjoyable. Fourth strategy, use the effort sandwich. Start with praise, such as, I love how you showed up to class today, then make a gentle suggestion, such as, want to teach me one phrase from it, then end with encouragement, such as, that made my day, you're so brave for trying. This keeps the pressure light but consistent.
I love that idea of choice. Honestly, I never thought of letting her pick the activity. I just thought practice was practice.
Right, and here's the truth, for children, ownership is motivation. When they feel they chose the activity, their brain treats it as voluntary, not forced. That flips the emotional response.
So let's say I give her choices and micro goals. What if she still resists? Like, what if she just says, I don't want to?
That's such an important scenario. First, don't panic. Resistance doesn't mean rejection, it often means fatigue, boredom, or lack of context. The solution isn't to force, but to reframe. Here's what I recommend. First, acknowledge the feeling. Say, sounds like you're tired of Mandarin right now. That's okay. Second, offer a bridge. Suggest something fun but still related, like watching a Mandarin cartoon with subtitles. No performance required, just exposure. Last, circle back later. The goal isn't to win the moment, it's to keep the door open.
So basically, don't fight the resistance head-on, just redirect it.
Exactly. Think of Mandarin as a campfire. If you blow too hard, the flame goes out. If you ignore it, it fizzles. But if you add small sticks at the right time, it keeps burning. Your job is to add fuel gently, not smother it.
That's such a good image. I feel like I've been blowing too hard.
And you're not alone. Almost every parent I coach says the same thing at first. But the fact that you're even asking this question shows you're on the right path. Let me share 5 takeaways for parents struggling with this balance. First, replace pressure with partnership. Sit with your child, explore with them, laugh with them. Don't just assign tasks, join the experience. Second, give choices within boundaries. 2 Mandarin options are better than no Mandarin at all. Third, shrink the task. A single word, phrase, or cartoon is enough to build consistency. Fourth, celebrate effort, not outcome. Say, I love how you tried, instead of, you got it right. Fifth, trust the long game. Fluency isn't built in weeks. It's built in years of safe, positive exposure.
Those points are so helpful. I think I can already feel myself relaxing a little.
That's the goal. When parents relax, kids relax. And when kids relax, they learn.
Grace, I really appreciate this. I realize now that my panic was about me, not about Lily. I was scared of wasting time or money. But if I shift to supporting her curiosity, I think we'll both enjoy the process more.
That's a powerful insight, Brian. Thank you for sharing it so honestly. And remember, Mandarin doesn't need to be a battlefield. It can be a playground, if we build it that way. So, for everyone listening, if you're worried about pushing too hard or not enough, remember, balance is about creating safety and structure. Your child doesn't need you to be a strict coach or a passive observer. They need you to be a partner. Brian, thank you so much for your openness today. I know your story will resonate with many parents.
Thank you, Grace. I feel lighter already.
And to our listeners, if you'd like help finding that balance for your child, try a free one-on-one Mandarin lesson at eChineseLearning.com. Our teachers specialize in creating safe, structured, and motivating environments for kids, so you don't have to do it all alone. Until next time, I'm Grace. Stay calm, stay curious, and remember, pressure isn't the path to fluency. Joy is.